In this module, we're going to be talking about how to create an SOP. So the process starts with filming a short video, such as this one, on how you would do the process that you're creating an SOP for. So once you create a video, for example, you can create a video with Slack, or you can create a video with Loom, or you can be on a meeting with Fathom turned on. And then what you would do in Slack, for example, is you can get directly the transcript. It's super handy because then you can just copy this transcript and come over here to ChatGPT and say, based on this, help me turn this help me turn this transcript into SOP. And then it's going to do that. Now, if you are in Fathom, so for example, say you had a meeting with someone and you showed them how to do something, and then you want to turn that into a process, what you can do is you can come over here and then you can come over here to the transcript section, copy the transcript, apply the exact same logic, and then literally like this, it's going to give you the SOP. Now, how this works is you're going to create a folder, right? And then you're going to name the folder, page. You're going to create a page, and then you're going to name the page whatever it is called. So for example, in this case, say we're creating an SOP for lead nurture and follow-up here at the agency, you would put, for example, sales follow-up SOP. So that's going to be the folder, the page name. Now you're going to say watch training. Then you're going to put the little video that is this video in this case that you have uploaded to YouTube. So the way it works is you would download it from here first. You would download it from here or wherever the video is, you would download it, then you would upload it to our YouTube channel. You would put it in the correct folder. So on YouTube, you're going to click here on create and then upload video. Then you're just going to upload the file. I'm just going to use a sample file for the sake of this video. So for example, like this video, you would add it over here. And then you're going to make sure that you upload it to the correct playlist. So for example, if this is onboarding a virtual assistant, or is it appointment setters, or is it an email account specialist? So depending on which area of our business this SOP applies to, it would go to the correct folder. Now, once this is uploaded, then you can copy the link from here, and then you can come over here. And so I'm just going to creating SOPs. I am going to create a sample page. This is how you create a page, / page. And then I'm going to call this test SOP. So first I'm going to say watch training. And then this video that we uploaded over here, I'm going to copy and paste it over here and say embed. And then the SOP would live right below. And what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to copy paste this from ChatGPT like so. And just like that, we have the SOP ready in under 4 minutes. The video goes on top. This thing, the SOP goes on the bottom. And the SOP also needs to be backed on our Google Drive. So that means that wherever this is, for example, in this case, it would be VA training material. It needs to go in the VA folder, VA appointment setter VA. There we go. So there's going to be onboarding over here in this case. I'm just giving a specific example. There's an onboarding folder for every position. So in this case, this is VAs. So over here, you're going to see that we have, oh, there we go, virtual assistants. Then you're going to see, like, for example, they would have different tasks. So onboarding new clients, financial hiring new team members, you can see those are exactly mapped out over here. So the idea in this case would be to create a new folder, systems and processes, like so. So you would create a new folder in 004 once you identify for which position this is meant to be this SOP. So just like this, we have created a new folder. And over here in this creating SOPs, we're going to create a subfolder over here. It's going to be called creating SOPs. And then over here, we're going to see test SOP. So that test SOP is going to be created as a Google Doc. Now, in this case, you would put over here the name of the SOP, you would copy paste it and paste it over here, and you would actually copy paste the SOP. Now, the next step over here would be to identify for which workflow this would be on Asana. So, for example, in this case, that would be VA tasks. So every position, everything that we're doing at the agency would have its own Asana board. So we want to make sure that this SOP now is translated into Asana as well, so that whatever we've created as a general process, standard operating procedure, we're going to get actioned on and we're going to actually execute on that. So what you need to do here is super simple. You're going to come back to ChatGPT and you're going to say, great, now create tasks based on this for Asana. So what it's going to do now, obviously you're going to play around with the prompt a little bit. I'm just doing the idea over here, but the main task is going to be to review client strategy flows and draft A/B tests, for example, in this case. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to create a new section. We're going to say review client strategy flows, etc., etc. And then we're going to have subtasks, right? So we're going to create this main task over here as a template, if it needs to be a template, if it's going to be something that people are going to have to do again and again. If we need to create a new section, we're going to create a new section to make sure that this is repeatable. And so here we're going to have description and we're going to create a description. We're going to make sure that we assign it to the proper person. So in this case, will be Carol, for example, with the due date. And then there is going to be subtasks. Okay, so every subtask would be created as follows. Over here, subtask. Then you're going to put the details of the subtask in the subtask, etc. And then also you want to make sure that you link the SOP over here. Right. So this is the description, link to Notion SOP. And then as the last step, what you want to do is then, if this is for Carol, for example, you want to reach out to Carol and let her know, hey, Carol, we have done this change to our process. Here's the SOP for it. Please go through the SOP and let's get on a meeting tomorrow so that I can shadow you as you're doing this task to make sure that you're doing it correctly. And then obviously you're going to give them any feedback in case they're not doing the task correctly until they do it correctly. So first, if they don't understand the task, then first they would shadow you as you do the task. Then you're going to do reverse shadowing. So you're going to shadow them as they do the task, give them any feedback on how they're doing the task. And once the task is being done as it is, then this just becomes a recurring task over here on Asana to remind them however often. So for example, if they need to review this client strategy call every, say every month on the first or on the first Wednesday every month. That way it's going to be a recurring task, right? And that way we have edited our process and everything is running now smooth in the agency. And the team knows exactly where this is supposed to go, where they can find this SOP, etc., etc. Thanks for watching this module, and I'll catch